Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Chodakal, and I will be teaching your son or daughter mathematics this semester. So I'd like to give you a little tour of my virtual learning space as well as let you know a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Aaron. This is my 8th year teaching at Parkville High School. I have taught all of the math courses offered currently in our school, so I have an understanding of where your student is coming from, as well as where your student is going. My job in this virtual setting is to prepare your student for their next math class by choosing the most essential topics that are necessary for their success, not only in the course they are currently taking, but for future courses they will take. The two big things in my classroom when it comes to expectations are that students attend the synchronous sessions as well as try their best on all assignments. I know this can be a difficult learning environment for many students, so my goal is to make them feel comfortable, welcome, to have a space where they can express themselves, as well as learn how to apply these properties of mathematics in their everyday lives. So let's take a little tour of our virtual learning space. As you can see, my virtual classroom is set up very similar to many of the other classrooms that you will see. Uh, Along the first welcome banner, you will see my email address. This is the top email address, as well as for some classes, I have a co-teacher. Her email address is here. Um, I also post the meeting times for the classes that is being presented. You'll see here for this class, the meeting time is 10 to 10:50. For B1, the meeting time is from 9 to 9:50. And for B3, the meeting time is from 12 to 12:50. The code for all of my classes is my last name followed by the section. So you can see here this is Chodakal B2. Below are my office hours from 8 to 9 a.m. and from 2 to 3 p.m. If you message me outside of this time, this is when I normally respond. So if you message me around 10 o'clock, don't think that I am ignoring your message or leaving you on red. I teach live classes till about 2 o'clock. You'll see also on this page is a link for my personal schedule. So you can see when I am live teaching, when I am planning, when I have lunch, and when I have my virtual office hours, all present here. I have a link for a calculator. Now, in this class, you do not have to supply your own calculators in a virtual setting. We will be using the Desmos calculator, which if you just click on this link right here, it has an embedded calculator, and I will work with the students on to familiarize them with the topics covered and how to use this calculator appropriately, since it is a little different. Um, I have a bunch of resources at the top, and this resources includes syllabus for the class, the second semester calendar, so you know what days are synchronous and what days are not synchronous, and some information about Google Meets, some support for you parents when it comes to tech communication, counselor requests, as well as the student handbook in Espanol for our Spanish speaking students. Um, I wanted to show you guys an example of what a lesson folder will look like. Most days, there will be a lesson folder as such. Now, for some lessons, the lesson will be more than one day, and I will let the students know that ahead of time. Each lesson has an outcome, which is the learning objective. In fact, I'll click and go through these. The learning objective says what you're going to be learning for the day, as well as vocabulary for the terms in English and in Spanish. I try and provide both an actual definition and a visual definition, again, in English and in Spanish. Uh, it also covers some of the notation that is being used for the class. Really, this is just to help prepare students to understand the material and understand the words and symbols they will see. Most lessons will also have a discussion post. The discussion is done asynchronously by the students, and we have some conversations about it during our synchronous time. Now, what's nice is most of those discussions are math based, but it really is just the thinking prompt. I like to try and get the students as involved and engaged as possible from the beginning. There is also a Learn About It page, which is notes that I generate. Now, students are expected to read through these, but I do work through this in class. This is just for students who prefer to see something in a more visual format and have something they can constantly be writing on or writing with. Now, again, these notes are a little bit more technical. I will go through them. I also provide teacher modeled examples for these programs. I also have videos and tips included in these as well. For example, here I have embedded a video. I also provide Learn It video editions. These are hand curated videos I select that have to do with either the material we are learning or supports for some of the skills that are required for success. For example, in this, students may need to review how to plot points on the coordinate grid to be successful for this lesson. So I like to provide those videos, and they are very short. I try not to put any video longer than 5 minutes. Many of these videos I make myself as well. But again, these are hand selected to help prepare students for their course and the learning objective. There is a try it section. The try it sections are examples that I will work through in class. These are non-graded. I also provide an answer key once we are finished going over examples. Um, Now, what most students and most parents are interested in are graded activities. I very clearly mark graded activities in each lesson folder. Notice in this folder here, the Show What You Know is labeled as graded and the Desmos is labeled as graded, and I have another Try It that is graded. Um, I do not assign week or daily homeworks. All homeworks are assigned weekly and due Saturday at midnight. I am quite flexible when it comes down to these due dates. I just expect the student to reach out to me to let me know if they need an extension. And if a student would like to redo, resubmit, or would like essentially some support or maybe a reteach, that is totally available. I will allow students to redo almost any assignment as many times as they like. The only thing that is required of them is that they come see me on a small group time or during my office hours so I can reopen that assignment because many of these virtual assignments have a shut off time. And I just want to make sure before they redo it, we have a chance to talk about the problems and I can give them some feedback so they don't repeat the same mistakes again. In this class, I use Desmos very, very regularly. Desmos is a online teaching tool that really helps engage students. I put an example of one in this folder so you guys can see what they will look like. What students will do is students will log in almost daily. We do Desmos activities almost every single day. And what this does, this allows me to have students work with me. It's almost like a PowerPoint where the students can generate responses and I can assess them. For example, you can see here students have a chance to look at a graph, make a justification. They have a chance to adjust what's happening here, and I can see what the students are doing in real time and see their work in real time and give them feedback in real time. So this is a very engaging software that I use very regularly to not only give student information, but to monitor student progress as well as provide feedback. I use this for both formative and summative assessments. Let me get back to. Uh, I also provide anytime I create notes. What I do is I have a slate and a virtual pen that I annotate notes on for students during class. All of those notes I upload in a PDF format for the students to view later. For my class, all tests and quizzes are open note, so they are allowed to use the notes they take at home as well as the notes that I take. I really see a huge benefit in teaching students the benefit of good digital organization and good note taking. So I reward them by allowing them to use their notes on tests and quizzes. Now, As a breakdown for the grade book in this class is really broken into three sections. There is major grades, minor grades, and practice grades. Minor grades are really any assignment we do in class besides tests. This would be small projects, this would be Desmos activities, this would be homework assignments. Those all go in the minor category and make up 70% of a student's test or 70% of a student's grade. Um, as for or major assignments, those are only tests and large projects that are worth 100 points each, and they make up 30% of the student grade. There are also practice grades provided in this course. These are assignments that students will receive feedback on, but they do not impact their grade. Not everything we do in this classroom is goes into the grade book. I will provide them feedback so they don't make the same mistakes or see what they're doing correctly. But then again, I will not. It does not affect their formal grade. The last thing I want to talk about is Flipgrids. Flipgrid is a tool we use in class to help build student community and student presence and give chance for students to express themselves. Every week there is a Flipgrid prompt that I provide to the students. They can access it. I'll show you guys an example of one now as we wrap up. What students do in Flipgrid is the first one I have is getting to know each student. So I provide a video that allows, where I go over the prompt. You can see I'm wearing the same sweater, uh, where I provide them with a prompt. This one is what's your name, favorite television show, and ice cream flavor. Each one of these responses is worth 5 points apiece. As you can see here, we have my co-teacher has responded, and I can also respond back to them and give them feedback. We use this tool a lot. It is a great way for students to show their face and interact with me, and for me to interact with them. So that really covers our virtual learning space. The gradebook is available at any time. And also, if you have any additional questions, feel free to message me. I am here. I am here to help with virtual learning. If you have questions beyond mathematics, I will do my best to help. I am also the student council advisor for Parkville High School, and I strongly encourage all of my students to get involved in student council. It is a great way to add some things to your student resume and get involved at Parkville. Another quick message I'd like to add is during this class, I spend a good bit of time reviewing the SAT. I was an SAT, oh, I am currently an SAT prep teacher at Parkville High School, and I have taught for other companies as well. But I think it's really important that all students have an opportunity to be successful on the SAT. So I build in lots of review examples and review practice tests for students to familiarize themselves with the topics and the tests themselves. My goal is for all students to not only have a voice in this class, but a space where they can express themselves and feel comfortable learning about mathematics. I really look forward to working with your son or daughter in this class. And if you haven't, like I said, any other questions, or if you want to reach out to me personally, we can set up a face to face virtual meeting or we can communicate through email. I want to thank you guys for watching this video and attending our virtual back to school night. And I hope to see many of you in person soon. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and stay safe. And again, have a great rest of the day.